got that nerd rage. Nerd rage. I got that nerd rage.
Hey guys, welcome to the Nerd Rage podcast. This week it's me, Ryan Anderson, hosting with
Ryan
and Lacho.
Lacho's new to the show today, but we hope to have him on for quite a bit more. We're calling him Macho Lacho.
No,
That's our guy. We'll actually be looking for some feedback from our emailers, just to see if you like Macho Lacho or if you like
the Dolly Lacho.
The Dolly Lacho. I think that's going to be the best one.
Or neither. Neither is good as well.
Oh, okay. Well, we're glad to have you on regardless. So let's get things started this week. Just having a fun one. I know we're in the aftermath of everything that happened with Comic-Con, so let's just start going over some of the tidbits that came from Sunday night and thereafter. First of which being quite a bit of casting for like Arrow and all of the DC TV shows. First of which was, and we were just talking about wrestling before the show started, Edge is now going to be added to the cast of Flash. He's going to be a superhero that some people know from like the Golden Age as Atom Smasher. What do you guys think about having Edge on the show?
I recognize Atom Smasher right away, but I don't really know anything about him. But I think Edge is going to be good on the show.
Yeah. What about you?
I mean, I've heard of the character, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't have any doubts that he'll do a bad job or anything. I think he'll do fine.
Yeah. So for the guys that, and for our fans that don't know, Atom Smasher is basically like the equivalent of Giant Man from Marvel's side of things. So basically, yeah, he has the ability to grow into large sizes, and so I think having a wrestler with a fairly large build will make some of that a little bit more believable. Hopefully he won't be the size of a skyscraper or whatever, but everything they do with Flash, they seem to make the special effects relatively believable. So
we don't think Edge is going to bulk up like too much for that character, though.
No, not really. I mean, I saw him in the suit. I mean, the suit's a little padded, but it's not too bad, and it looks kind of like his comic book counterpart, but like a shade darker. So,
yeah.
The other thing, I see, as soon as I heard that, I'm just thinking like how they could do that with this Flash special effects and everything. And the first was like they had like a train scene where Flash goes through and he saves like 7 different people in a train while it's like derailing. And I'm trying to think because I think the way they're shooting it is that Edge is supposed to start off as a bad guy,
yeah,
as Atom Smasher first, because Atom Smasher has like a troubled past.
He kind of plays both sides, right?
Yeah, exactly. So he's kind of good, but eventually, or bad, but then he'll eventually turn good, I'm sure, as a result. So I'm just picturing like him running up the side of a building and then just clocking Atom Smasher in the side of the mouth or something like that.
Are they going to have him be like super huge in the show?
I hope that they will. I mean, their special effects have been really good. I mean, they did the second episode was I forget the guy's name, like Doppelganger or something like that, or Multiple Man, and no, actually Multiple Man. I think
Marvel.
I think that's an X-Men guy. But yeah, it was one of those guys who could replicate himself into like 20 million versions of himself. So he's like in a mall, and he's surrounded by all of them, and he just starts taking them out one by one, and you can see every single guy with the special effect, and they did a really good job. So I don't doubt that they could do a big guy and make him look
CW
really cool.
always has pretty good special effects on their shows for the most part.
Yeah, I'm very amazed. Yeah. On top of that, the big thing too is that we might have even talked about it a little bit last week, but they're saying that Constantine, with all of the unfortunate fallout from that show, they had to pack it up about a month ago. Like, they struck the set clean, and they're 100% confirmed that it's canceled. But Stephen Amell / the CW producers of Arrow have been trying and trying. They really are pushing to get Matt Ryan as Constantine, that same character, on Arrow, because I think this season now, with him going Green Arrow, it's going to be more comic book friendly. Like, he's got the new suit. He's actually calling himself Green Arrow this season.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be a good way to start things off.
Now, is this the same Constantine that they did the movie about with Keanu Reeves 10 years ago or something?
I mean, if Keanu Reeves is on TV, that'd be... You didn't like that?
I don't I can't see Keanu Reeves in anything. He's...
Yeah, I know. He gets mixed results.
I like him.
I do too. I know sometimes Keanu can be kind of like, whoa, and like
He was,
the same.
that's the kind of Keanu that I like, though. Like, I like the Bill and Ted stuff.
Yeah, goofy, but like when he's serious, like the Matrix, and he's kind of like,
Yeah.
whoa. That I can understand. There's a lot
There
of
was that one
opinions.
football movie where he was a coach that was pretty good too.
Where he was a coach.
Yeah, I think he was.
Are
a
you
coach.
thinking the Replacements when he was
Yeah.
the quarterback?
No, that wasn't Keanu Reeves. It was something else.
The Replacements was him as the
No,
quarterback.
that was what's the other guy's name? It wasn't Keanu Reeves. He was the guy that looks like him, but it wasn't him. I'm pretty sure.
No,
Maybe
the
I'm an
Replacements.
idiot.
It was him, Gene Hackman, and
But no, there's one where he's a coach, and it's like, or no, it was a baseball that he coaches.
oh,
and he's
baseball.
Like it's like kids that he
was it like a
coaches.
remake of the Bad News Bears or something like that?
Maybe something like that. But
That
it's
sounds
just the
about
kids that he coaches.
'Cause
It's
I
like
re-
inner city kids.
I haven't seen that. I don't know.
So, baseball little kid version of Gridiron game.
Something.
No, just kidding.
I remember it's something like that. I don't
Okay.
know. Maybe I'm an idiot, but
But
it's-
yeah, I think if they got Constantine on there, I mean, first of all, I think that would do wonders for that character, and I'm sure NBC would be kicking themselves again for making another stupid choice. Brian was saying last week how he would love to have Heroes take off again like it did before, and he was telling about how much he loves that Heroes would be like this big event again. But like I think Heroes, as much as I want to see it come back, and I will be watching that first season to see if it's good.
yeah.
Because, you know, the first of the original series was really good. It was worth watching.
The first season of Heroes was awesome. The second season was pretty good too, and then the
Right.
third season was just kind of
That whole writer's
got away
strike
from
thing,
the
I think,
whole
just
thing.
ruined
Yeah.
the whole momentum of that show.
They-
Plus, they lost
yeah,
Brian
like,
Fuller because he
half
went
the-
to do Pushing Daisies.
Half the heroes were like turning into creatures, and I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's the hard thing with comic book stuff is like just with any movie franchise too. There's always this feeling like you have to do bigger and better, and it's not always the case. Like if you can keep it well structured, it might be more of the same, but at least the same is good. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to give me fantastic if the fantastic is gonna suck. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, hopefully Constantine gets on. He makes a big splash, and maybe NBC will be kicking themselves while Heroes is sucking and Constantine's doing awesome. But yeah, there's more. We talked about this last week. Anarchy is going to be on Gotham. Or
Okay.
no, I'm sorry, no,
Wait.
he's actually going to Arrow. Anarchy's
okay.
going to be on, and they've already cast him. And it's this young guy named Alex Calvert, but I could see him. He looks the part. I think he'll do a good job. Do either of you guys watch The Goldbergs on ABC?
Like twice.
Never even heard of it.
It's actually really funny. You've seen it though. Like, what did you
Yeah.
think about it?
I mean, it wasn't bad from what I saw, but I don't really watch that much TV.
No, that's okay. Yeah. So like, it's basically like if you were to watch The Wonder Years, but with like a funnier family, but it's set in the 80s, and I think that's kind of cool. But the love interest for the little guy on the show, because it's all semi factually based on this one kid's life, who's now the producer of the show. His love interest at that time is played by this young girl by the name of Natalie Ellen Lind, and she's this a young actress. And she'll be on Gotham now, and she's going to be playing Silver St. Cloud, who I don't know enough about her, but I know that she was like one of Bruce Wayne's love interests. So they're going to introduce her early on.
I'm just trying to find like the most obscure characters that they could possibly have. Like, oh, this character was on like 2 pages of a comic book in like 1960. Let's make her in the TV show. Like,
But you know what? I think that's the
there'll be
awesome
like
thing
one
about
fanboy
Gotham.
somewhere that'll be like shitting himself. Like, oh my god, they're making this a character.
There's some people who are like fine-tooth combing like the back pages of like some weird Batman or other variation comic book that I'm sure they're like really excited about Silver St. Cloud, but I just like the fact that they're keeping the characters around and fleshing them out in the show, because like if it had just been movies, we would just be seeing the Riddler, Two-Face, Penguin, obviously Joker. I mean, those
The
those
best
are
villain,
like,
Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze is coming to Gotham this season.
Is he?
Literally, kid you not.
Who's gonna play him?
That person has not been casted yet, but he is absolutely confirmed. Him, Tigress. We covered some other ones on the show. Firefly is going to be on this season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he already made an appearance on Arrow, but I think it's going to be a different actor.
So wait, and he's gonna be on Gotham?
But no. I think he died in Arrow. The guy who played him. He was
I was
like
gonna
one
say, are
episode.
they gonna somehow bring these shows together? Aren't they
No,
different networks?
It was back when Arrow was actually killing guys, and I think he kills Firefly.
Ah.
Yeah. But that was season 1. So in Gotham, yeah, it'll be the origin of Firefly, probably more accurate than the way Arrow did him in the first season. But yeah, so they're going to be bringing a bunch of characters. I said it on one of our previous shows, I think with Brian, that they were going to make this the season of villains. Like last season was about the rise of the Penguin.
Wasn't the last season like every episode a different villain though?
No, like I mean they had like the 3-episode arc for the ogre, and I mean there were a couple episodes where like people didn't have anything going on, but I mean they did have a lot of villains, but I think they might have more prominence now because all of the mafioso sort of situation, like the crime families, they're all disbanded.
Okay.
So I think it's now going to be like no, not Catwoman because she's still growing, but maybe like different parts of Gotham are going to be run by different parts of criminals versus like mob families.
I'm excited to see Mr. Freeze though.
Yeah, I love his story. Like I mean, as long as it doesn't turn out like Arnold, doing all the ice puns a million
Still
times.
my favorite villain in any Batman movie.
Really? Okay. Well, yeah. I love that movie for the fact that it knows it's cheesy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, we're gonna have her. She'll be the love interest because, obviously you got to have more than one, and I think the whole Catwoman thing's gonna be kind of played out because I think she's gonna go her own path. But some more Flash news and Arrow news. We're actually gonna have Captain Cold's dad being played by the well-known Michael Ironside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Michael Ironside. Lacho, do you know who he is? Okay.
You'll know him.
Have you seen... Oh, no, we were talking about the fact that you haven't seen Terminator Salvation. But...
I saw Salvation. I haven't seen Genesis.
You haven't seen Genesis yet? Okay.
Well, the newest one.
Salvation's better, but that's my opinion. The one you would know him from is either that or like maybe Total Recall. He's the guy who was trying.
Or the original?
No, the original. He's the older guy, kind of baldish.
He's a very distinguished look. Like,
yeah, exactly. You'd know him when you saw him. He actually does the voice of Darkseid in some of the animated stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But in Total Recall, he's the one who's trying to hunt down Quaid, which is Arnold's character in that movie, and he's done a lot of great stuff since. But he was that general that.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, you know the guy.
Yeah.
It's like the second you see him, you just know.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's going to be Captain Cold's father. I'm curious to see how much of a part he plays because I don't think Captain Cold's like full backstory has really been fleshed out in the comics. So I'd like to see a little bit more depth on that character because what's his name, Jeff Johns. He really likes Captain Cold, so much so that he tried to make a whole Rogues comic.
Okay.
Yeah. But then Mr. Terrific, which we mentioned, he's going to actually be added as well. Echo Kellum, this young African-American actor who's really got a good resume behind him from what I've seen. He's going to be playing him, and I think he could be good. So that kind of covers like our whole roundup of like the TV casting because there's going to be like one or two every week. But I like to see that whole world is growing.
Yeah, because they got to get started on them shows pretty quick here, right?
Actually, Arrow season 4 has already started. It's I think they're on episode 1 or 2 that they've shot already. So and Flash is
because they start airing in September, right?
Yeah, because that's how we found out about Edge's Atom Smasher, because there was just this guy in like a suit and a helmet, and then like later on in the day, I think this was Tuesday or Wednesday, guy takes the helmet off and everyone's like, holy crap, it's Edge. Like no one expected that he was going to do that because all he had done was that TV show Haven on Sci-Fi, which it was pretty good, but like I want to see him do better work because I know he's a better than wrestler.
Any of them wrestlers are better actors than The Rock, so
yeah. Oh, let's not go into that. Lacho got that look on his face like, you can't say anything bad about The Rock.
Name something The Rock was good at, that acted good in, that he played a good role.
Southland Tales.
Nah.
I love Southland Tales. But
not seen that.
Oh, it's trippy.
Yeah.
The dude who made Donnie Darko made this movie about like an apocalyptic future, and that movie, I swear to God, has like the most cameos you've ever seen.
Anyone you can think of is pretty much in that movie.
Yeah, like Justin Timberlake is in it. You've got like Sarah Michelle Gellar's in it. Who else? Like The Rock, obviously.
I was looking at the cast list the other day too.
Oh man.
Wasn't like Rosario Dawson had a part in it?
Yeah, I think like
Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah. John Lovitz is in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's.
But yeah, like I'm not saying The Rock's like an award-winning, nominating actor, but he's not bad.
Yeah,
he's not the
when
worst.
When you play one character, you're good at that one character.
Yeah,
he can't play any other character.
That could be said about some other actors too.
Yeah,
this is true.
But they are their own character as well. I'm just saying, like The Rock. They keep casting him to play the same part, and it's terrible.
He was really good in The Mummy Returns. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah,
She's really good at laying the smack down on people.
his CGI was the best part. That still goes down as like the worst CGI I think I've ever seen on film. And I've seen some pretty bad ones.
Yeah, I watched that with Joe and Brian, and we had to watch it in 1.5 times speed because it was so bad of a movie. It was pretty entertaining watching those Yetis in like super fast. Yeah, that was.
Wait, the Yetis were in the third one.
Yeah. Oh, we're talking about.
We're talking about Returns. When he turns into that giant Scorpion King and he's like crawling up on the structure, and it's like the worst CGI
The Rock
you've ever
was in
seen.
that?
Yeah,
I remember
He
the
was
Scorpion,
the Scorpion
King. Whatever.
That's why they made the movie The Scorpion King.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, anyways,
moving on.
I said I would mention this because for some reason our non-DC guy Brian loves this idea, but Robin in the new upcoming Lego Batman movie, the animated one that's coming out, is going to be played by Michael Cera. Brian could not stop telling me how much he loves the idea of Michael Cera as Robin. I'm like,
I don't have anything against it.
Yeah,
I know,
me
like,
neither. I think it'll be fine. Like everybody, I saw people online. They were like,
I don't have a problem with Michael Cera.
half of them were going crazy and half of them were like pissed off. But I don't. I mean, it's not live action or anything. It's a Lego movie,
Right.
so just for a voice, I don't have anything against it.
He's one of those actors too that doesn't take himself seriously. I kind of like that about him.
yeah, like I have no problem with Michael Cera at all. It's that weird thing where it's like Brian, who says he absolutely hates Superman, and he's mentioned it many times on the show, but doesn't really care about anything DC. He was like, dude, have you heard the news? I'm like, this has got to be something great. And he's like, Michael Cera is playing Lego Robin. I'm like, great, but it's cool. Like, and
I'm a huge fan of all those Lego games. So.
yeah, and they haven't done anything Lego that I've really been disappointed in. So I'd like to see a good actor play that role. Him and Will Arnett already have some good back and forth from Arrested Development anyways.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
That's what I was reading up on. So,
were they mentioning that?
well, I just saw it online.
Oh, okay.
How, like, that's not the first time they've worked together. So
Okay.
it will be like a good back and forth.
Yeah, I think that will be. Yeah, they play off each other well. A little bit of Marvel news. You guys have seen like the past X-Men movies, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, like the previous two. Yeah.
Like
First Class.
and
Do
Days of Future
you guys remember the young striker that they had in the last film?
Yeah.
Okay. That guy, Josh Hellman, is been confirmed to come back to the new X-Men film when they have Age of Apocalypse. So that brings us actually to the bigger news, which is about Age of Apocalypse. There's been a lot of photos that came out this week really showing what a lot of people saw at Comic-Con. And Age of Apocalypse now has confirmed the 4 people that we discussed last week for the Horsemen. Now, I don't know if they're actually saying that they're going to be the Horsemen. I think, much to Brian's dismay, that they might be changing it up. Like if we ever see a reemergence of Apocalypse and his 4 Horsemen, it'll probably have like Archangel and some of the other ones who have actually been the Horsemen. Like maybe even Wolverine maybe like a reintroduction to Wolverine we'll get a different version because after Old Man Logan we're not going to have Hugh Jackman
that's
playing
true,
him anymore.
because after the next 3 X-Men movies, Hugh Jackman is done.
Yeah. So what?
I think he says he's done, but I honestly don't think he will be.
I don't know.
I hope not.
For all we know, he could cameo in Deadpool. I mean, he really might have more.
But
in
with the
him
way
than
they're
he
going,
says.
like with the younger cast, like
At a certain
and
point,
all the
you're gonna
work
have to
that he
phase him
puts
out.
into to buff up for that character, like at some point they're gonna have to like CGI him up.
Yeah. Can you imagine if it actually had been?
Unless they do like the old man version of him, that'd be kind of cool.
Well, they are going to do Old Man Logan in the
Is that the
the
third Wolverine
final
movie?
Wolverine
The
movie.
last Wolverine movie, he said he's old.
It might not be that title. It might just be. Well, I heard that
Old
the
Man
title
Logan is kind of a dumb title, but
I kind of like it, but like I mean, at least it gives you it informs you of what it's going to be. But I think the movie is actually just going to be called Wolverine. That's it.
yeah.
What if,
Which is fine.
all right, now here's one.
Wait, wasn't the last one Wolverine or was it
The
the
Wolverine,
Wolverine?
yeah.
Okay,
You keep
I'm
it
excited for it regardless. It's just,
Exactly.
the title doesn't matter.
You keep it simple. It sells more tickets, honestly, or at least that's the rationale of movie makers. What were you going to say?
I've never actually read Old Man or like the storyline of Old Man Logan.
Okay.
But tell me if this is right or not. But you remember how at the end of the last X-Men movie, Days of Future Past,
Yeah.
how because of what happened, it rewrote all the previous movies.
Yeah.
So is Old Man Logan gonna be like telling the story of what happened from then on? Like
That's a really good
present?
point, and honestly, that's. I hate to keep being the guy who disses on Marvel, but really, like, I don't. I don't know what their thought process is when they come into the X-Men films. It seems very scattered. It's not very chronologically driven. I mean, with the last one, they just kind of rewrote history. So whatever they want to say after this point can just be its own canon.
They
you know
rewrote
what I mean?
history because what's his name that did The Last
Yeah.
Stand ruined it.
Yeah.
But is it really Marvel doing that? Isn't it? Fox is the ones who.
Yeah, Fox is making their own rules at this point. They
It's
pick
not
whatever.
Marvel having that much of a say. Is
Yeah,
it?
exactly. So, yeah, if Marvel was doing it, they probably would have restarted. They probably would have gone a lot of the way that they're doing with Age of
Marvel would have
Apocalypse.
recasted everyone, and there would have been no more
Yeah.
Ian McKellen, and no more Patrick Stewart, and no more Hugh Jackman, and they would have had their own.
There probably wouldn't
cast
even
of
be
guys.
James McAvoy in there,
Yeah, no.
honestly. And there's some really good castings that have been done with X-Men on the Fox side of things, but
Yeah.
I can't complain about any of the casting, really.
Oh, really?
No.
Weren't we just talking about Halle Berry before the show started?
I mean, I'm saying in the new
Oh,
X-Men.
okay.
Like the younger ones.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm saying the new X-Men.
Okay, because actually that was being asked this week. Halle Berry was asked, "What would happen if they asked you to do a Storm movie?" And then she was like, "If they offered a Storm movie to me, I'd do it in a heartbeat."
No.
Like,
Well, Ryan said
It would unfortunately probably make money, but it wouldn't be any better than the Catwoman movie.
it probably anything could be better than Catwoman, but it would still be it'd be Halle Berry trying to be Storm, and we get a bunch of lines like Toad being struck by lightning and crap like that.
I don't know anything about this new girl that's playing Storm, but just her look, it looks way better than Halle Berry.
Yeah, the Mohawk. I really like.
Well, that's the 80s. The movie's supposed to be like an 80s type
Yeah,
of
it's
movie, and that's
83,
like the
1983.
80s. That's the 80s Storm with the Mohawk when she was like in the street gangs and stuff.
Yeah.
That was another thing that was reported on and talked about. I don't know what you guys think about this with X-Men too. Is that with them setting it in 1983 supposedly, they've got a lot of characters that are set from the 90s, like your Psylocke, your Jubilee, for example. What do you think about some of the 90s touches that are being put in the 80s? Do you feel like that fits, or do you feel like that's
I'm
not
fine
really
with
a
it.
problem?
I mean, wasn't the Apocalypse story was a 90s
Yeah, exactly,
story,
and it's a 90s story too. Yeah,
So- it doesn't really matter to me.
I don't have any quarrels with it at all.
Okay. I mean, I think it looks good, and I'm curious to see the story that they actually flesh out. Speaking of which, we were on the topic of the Four Horsemen there. So we confirmed this last week that Storm, Angel, Psylocke, and Magneto are going to be your Four Horsemen.
Magneto.
Yeah. Which, okay. Brian thought, okay, what the hell? Because in his mind, it's like Archangel. It's Wolverine is one of them. I think Gambit was one. Okay, and then I don't know who was the other ones. Like I remember some from the cartoons, but I think like
I don't remember if
Professor Xavier was at one point.
What,
I don't know if
the
it was
original
comic
four
books.
were Archangel and then Gambit. I don't know if Wolverine was one of the original ones. I think some of them were not
Probably was.
actual X-Men. They were.
Oh yeah, like Pestilence was
I
like
think
that.
Rogue might have been one at one point
Could
too.
be. Yeah, see that's the thing, and that's why I don't have an issue with these four. Is because it's like
I don't
They
except for
switch 'em up
except
so
for
often.
Magneto.
Well,
I
Right.
have
In
an
every
issue with.
storyline,
If-
everybody has their own.
I was watching the last few episodes of X-Men Evolution. I believe it was on Hulu or Netflix, and they had Professor Xavier. It was because he had like a mind control thing. It was him. Jean Grey was one. I think it was Jean Grey, or Jean Grey tried to help him come out of being because he had mind control on him. And then there was some other guys too, but like it wasn't ones that I thought were initially like the Four Horsemen. But like that show's known for being really popular, and the fact of the matter is, it's four very powerful mutants that Apocalypse, for whatever reason, deems to be the most suitable to join him and his crusade. So whatever they choose, it doesn't really. I mean, as long as it makes sense that he would pick four powerful mutants.
I can see Storm and Psylocke, and obviously Angel is one of them anyway, because he
Yeah.
become when Mr. Sinister makes him Archangel. But Magneto just doesn't make sense to me.
Did they cast?
I think-
Angel
Because
last
in the
No,
in the
Angel,
comics,
Angel's
didn't
been
the
casted for this film alone. They had him in X-Men 3, but
yeah,
but
let's
it's not.
talk about that.
Yeah, it's not that one. It's a younger guy. I think I
Here
don't
it
have
is. Yeah,
Ben
Ben
Hardy. I
Hardy.
think yeah, he'll be Worthington, otherwise known as Angel. Okay, so a little bit of background on these characters because this was revealed when they showed the Entertainment Weekly cover with.
Ivan Ooze playing
Oh.
Apocalypse.
We'll get to that in one sec. I want to talk about that as well. So Storm is actually going to be found on the streets of Cairo in Egypt. So the first
Makes sense.
it's actually the first recruit of Apocalypse, and apparently she's struggling with her powers, and she's recruited by him, and like he's going to show her the way essentially. And then there's Angel, who is apparently in a fight club in Berlin when he's found. The first images that showed of the film were by Bryan Singer, and the ones that he showed were Angel in this like really like barbaric looking cage where he's like his wings are pinned back and everything. So I'm curious to see if like maybe they have him like caged up and then they let him loose, kind of like how Wolverine was in the first film when he was just like a club fighter, which I think will do a lot of justice for Angel, because anytime people see Angel, 90% of what comes out of people's mouths are like, dude, that guy's a pussy. Why does he have angel wings? That's a stupid name.
He's one of the original X-Men.
Exactly. And that's why I think he's a cool character, too. Like, I mean, the original X-Men were fun because it was very simple powers. It wasn't like all over the place. There's some X-Men that are like really out there. And they had 4 basic people, or wait, 5. 5 basic people that came together, and them working together help them defeat like Magneto or the Brotherhood of Mutants or whatever, and that was what made them good. Same thing with Fantastic Four. It was 4 people that were like a family. When they banded together, they could beat a bigger evil, and that's what I thought was cool. But Angel, I think this will add a little bit of toughness to that character and make it look like a legit.
I'm curious to see if they touch on the Archangel stuff at all.
I think that'll be teased at some point. Like maybe he'll get injured or something. Like and then maybe not this film, but in the future film, like Apocalypse, probably.
I just hope to God that this is not the last time we see Apocalypse. If it is, it's going to be terrible.
I'm willing to bet that after this film, Apocalypse will like go into hiding. Like maybe they'll come to some sort of agreement, like he'll spare the world or something like that, where he won't really destroy everything like it's intended. And then maybe we'll get a film with Sinister. Mr. Sinister will be the next one with a young X-Men cast, where maybe Cyclops will come into his own and become like a leader of the team.
I'm kind of hoping it's more like he's not all the way like the most powerful version of Apocalypse,
right? Like he's getting to that point.
And they kind of defeat him, and then he comes back later on. Or
and then maybe he's a little bit more cybernetic or something like that, and he's more like the comics that we know. But so he finds Angel second. The third one he finds is Psylocke, which is a very interesting thing too, because she's working for the Russians. And more specifically, an X-Men character I've heard very little about, but I'm familiar with a little bit, which is Caliban.
Yeah.
Who's Caliban? Remind us again.
He can teleport, I believe.
Okay.
And he's like a weird-looking elf creature kind of guy.
Oh, maybe I do know who this is then. Okay.
But I don't remember how his teleport ability works, because it's not like he can just teleport wherever, like Nightcrawler. It's something where he can teleport.
Oh, is it?
I don't know if he can teleport between like back in time.
Oh,
or
like
something like that.
Oh, really? You can go through time? That's interesting.
It's something like that.
Okay, because it could be
Caliban.
Lacho's gonna do a little research here. Caliban. But yeah, he could be like the Flash character that was shown in this first season here, where like they can see a distance out in front of them. If they can physically see it, they can teleport to that location. It could be like that.
It's something. I can't remember what it is. I just know there's something that can hinder it.
Yeah. But the cool thing about that is I'm wondering if Psylocke is almost going to be kind of in that like almost like a special assassin, almost like a Black Widow was kind of in the...
That's kind of what she is an assassin,
Yeah, so like working for Caliban as like a bodyguard on the side or whatever would be kind of cool, because
she's working for him.
Yeah, working in Russia for Caliban, who's apparently like a mutant smuggler of some sort.
I always thought Caliban was like a wimpy kind of crybaby kind of.
Well, that could be why he needs a bodyguard.
It says that he has like mutant tracking abilities.
Oh, he can track people?
I guess.
Oh, maybe he's somebody. Maybe he's like a mutant scouter.
Maybe there's somebody that teleports him to people. Maybe that's what I'm. There's something with that that he does with teleporting. Though I swear there is. I don't know.
Interesting.
Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
No, but that's still really cool though. So she's working for him, and then that's when she gets recruited. Maybe Apocalypse will come through, find out that he's scouted up all these mutants, sees that she has potential, kills him, recruits her, and then boom, you've got your third horseman, leading us to number 4.
I'm thinking he's going to be the one that runs and finds Xavier then. I don't think he's going to kill him.
Oh, maybe. Caliban. Yeah, that could be too. Maybe he comes in, recruits Psylocke, and then he runs for cover, and then that's how they find out. Well, I think more or less based on what our fourth one is, which is Magneto, because Magneto sees, and this is the description that they've given, that there's all this destruction going on in the world or whatever, and Magneto, who's apparently settled down, has like a normal life with a wife, has now realized that the world is going to crap, essentially, because of, well, whether it's Apocalypse or not, he sees the potential with Apocalypse's cause, and he goes with him voluntarily to join his
It just
group.
doesn't make sense to me.
Magneto?
Yeah,
Because isn't Apocalypse
he's
like hellbent on destroying the mutants and everything, and Magneto wants to like preserve the mutants?
no.
and make...
Oh shoot, I didn't write it down. But the thing that they were saying about Apocalypse is he wants to.
Because all he cares about is being like the most powerful force in the universe, pretty much.
I don't know. That could be the comics, but what they were saying, if I got this correct, was that he was trying to eliminate weakness in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why
And
he's
anyone that's not as strong as him is deemed weak.
which would make sense why he's recruiting like the most powerful X-Men he can find. Why Magneto would join his cause. He wants powerful ones around him. I mean, he probably
Right.
still deems himself the most powerful, but yeah, I think that will be.
And that's pretty
part of
much all
it.
he does is go around and destroys anyone that's weaker
Yeah,
than him. Yeah.
which could be good. So that's our setup for Horseman in Apocalypse. But you want to talk about your theory of your thoughts on him as Ivan Ooze?
Why he's somehow related to Ivan Ooze. I really hope that these pictures are just set photos and they're not like there's more to him when they put in like the special effects
Like
and
if they
everything.
CGI him or something?
Yeah.
Or, just add more
Or
on
it's
top?
some dumbed down weak version of him because he looks terrible. And
You
the
think?
Apocalypse is like my favorite storyline in all the X-Men, and
Okay.
it just doesn't do him justice to me.
Yeah.
I'm still excited. I'm still going to see the movie, but it's just kind of a letdown.
What do you... Have you guys talked about the castings at all?
Which ones? The whole.
Just in
X-Men?
general.
Well, we just covered 4, but we also covered on one of our previous episodes, I believe with Brian, that there's Storm, there's Wolverine, or sorry, not Wolverine, Cyclops. There's going
Wolverine's
to
in
be
it.
yeah, Wolverine will be in it.
Cyclops
Gambit,
and Havoc.
Gambit is not confirmed yet, even though he will have his own film, which will be great.
Which is sad because I thought... Like,
I'm sure he'll be in it.
He plays a huge part. doesn't he?
I think that it's one of those
He's
things.
one of the 4 horsemen, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a War, I think.
He's War.
I think
like
so.
I could see Wolverine being War.
I think
but-
Wolverine is Death. Maybe
Oh.
I have them mixed up. I
It
could
could
have them
be.
mixed up.
Yeah, it's hard because like when you see the easiest thing about it is that you think of their powers, like what that person could do. Like Storm could be like pestilence. She could also be. She could pretty much be any of them.
I wonder if they're
honestly.
even going to name him that, or if they're just going to...
That's why I'm thinking like this will be
yeah.
like an introduction to the 4 Horsemen.
I
You'll
wonder if
get
they're even going to refer to them as the 4 horsemen, or if there's just going to be these 4 guys that he's got.
yeah,
with them.
like 4 lackeys, if you
Yeah.
will. Yeah. So again, we'll see, and we'll develop. We'll give more information as it develops. But yeah, so he's got the 4. But as far as himself, though, they released some like ultra high def kind of photos that came out, and I was a little in your boat at first, where I was like, no, I don't think he looks like. But he does have like that cloak around him.
Yeah, I
he
like
has
I like the costume look, but like
yeah.
his
face?
face
In the
himself,
face?
it just doesn't look. I don't know. It just looks.
You want something a little bit more robotic?
I want him
I'm
to look
guessing?
scary. Like Apocalypse is supposed to be like the destroyer of worlds, or so to speak, and he just doesn't look menacing.
Yeah,
He just looks like some old grumpy guy sitting on a porch that has a purple face.
yeah. I can kind of sympathize with that. Well, I mean, it's hard because like if you remember the '90s series, which is the one that's most vivid in my mind,
Yeah,
he's got
He's
that
all
like weird,
mechanical and stuff.
yeah, like his
Yeah.
mouth literally looks like a robot, and I don't think
Yeah.
that's something you could easily translate to screen unless you
think so.
made it a CGI character.
It's gotta
that's
be
the
like
thing,
that,
though. Like
though.
we've only seen like 3 photos of it.
Yeah.
and they're
That's
the
what I'm
first
saying.
ones,
I'm
so,
hoping
like,
there's more to it.
I think
like,
it's like too early to say if it's gonna be
Yeah.
good or bad, and
that's what I'm hoping. Yeah.
maybe if that is what like Bryan Singer has in plan, maybe from what people have been saying online, or if like there's backlash to it. Well, I saw like people making jokes with Ivan Ooze or whatever. Maybe
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
still time to make it better,
Right.
If it is, but I doubt.
I'm just hoping it's like a younger version of him, and somewhere out in the
Yeah.
movie
But did you guys talk
bulks up
about
more or
the
whatever.
who they cast as?
Yeah,
Apocalypse?
like that. Cody Smith McKee is or McPhee is Nightcrawler.
he, which they haven't
No,
showed
I mean
anything
the
about yet.
Apocalypse himself, Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, he's Oscar
Because-
Isaac. I was gonna get there.
But because I don't know if you guys have seen Ex Machina.
No, I
No.
haven't.
Movie? Okay. I watched it and like I think that was his first movie or one of his first movies.
No, he's
No?
been doing stuff way
Has
before.
he?
Yeah, like he was in a Coen
'Cause-
Brothers film with Justin Timberlake about something about like the heart, and he was like a musician, and that was how he really started to get a name for himself.
Oh, because that's the first movie I've seen him with, and it was really good. Like I recommend everybody watch that movie.
Yeah, everyone I know who's actually seen it, not in our peer group, but other people I know, were saying that Ex Machina is like surprisingly good
It's just
sci-fi.
about like this guy making a robot girlfriend and then she goes psycho, right? Pretty much.
Yes and no.
Does he bang the robot in the movie?
Yes and no. I'm not gonna spoil anything.
Because I might see it if there's a scene where he's banging the robot. That might be.
I get
kinda
this
interesting.
feeling now because you're kind of just being standoffish. Like, does he turn himself into a robot at some point
I'm
or
not
something?
gonna spoil
Oh.
anything.
See, now I kind of want to watch
Normally,
it.
I'm not
normally
even
Lacho's
kidding,
the
though.
first one to spoil movies.
Yeah.
Not because we want to know something. He's like, nope, you gotta watch it.
Because I want.
That's
you guys
not
to
the
watch this
Lacho
movie.
way, not the Dalai Lacho we know.
Yeah, thanks. But no, really, like it was surprisingly good. Like I thought it'd just be generic or something, but
It kind of reminds me of that movie Splice.
Splice? Was oh no,
with
I'm
Adrian
thinking.
Brody, where he like has that
Oh.
alien.
Oh
and
yeah,
he,
and like the thing
breeds
turns.
with it, and then like at the end, like
Yeah,
they
the thing turns
go
into, like,
at
a-
it and they're banging and it like she's growing all these
Yeah.
arms and it's like really gross and
Oh,
Adrian Brody's like
it's nothing
blowing
like
his
that.
load while she's transforming. It's like, what
Oh,
the fuck am I
jeez.
watching? Yeah.
It's nothing like that at all.
That movie was so
But-
weird. It really
Yeah.
was.
I seriously suggest we sit down and watch it sometime.
I
And
think
anybody listening, definitely watch it
okay. Good suggestion,
Fair
and we'll definitely check that one out.
because well, one more thing before we move on.
Okay.
The two main characters in the movie, because really it's only them and the AI.
Mm-hmm.
They're both going to be in the new Star Wars movie.
Oh,
which
right,
I'm also
right.
excited about.
Yeah.
We're not going to jump into the whole Star Wars thing, but I'm just saying I'm excited because.
Wait, who was the AI in that film?
God, I can't think of her name.
It's Olivia Munn.
No.
What?
No.
No,
No.
Olivia Munn is inside. Is
No,
playing
I'm
Psylocke
just
in
trying to.
X-Men.
I'm just trying to think who else was in that movie then.
No.
Because I'm trying to think of. I can vaguely resemble that or picture the person who played
she's
the
gonna
AI.
be in this movie coming up, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I don't know if you've seen it.
Oh, she's in that. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought you were saying that whoever
kept
this
seeing
person
stuff
is
about
is
that.
going to be in X-Men.
No. The guy. So Oscar Isaac and there's another guy that plays in Ex Machina.
Oh, okay.
Those two are going to be in the next Star Wars movie.
Oh, so who's the guy?
I can't. I'm looking up right
Is
now.
it that Ben Hardy guy you were talking about?
No.
Okay, well,
So
we'll
I'm
get
excited about this guy, but I don't know who this
when
guy
you,
is.
When you figure it out, we'll get right back to it.
Domhnall Gleeson.
He's gonna be in X-Men?
No, in
Star
Star
Oh,
Wars.
Star Wars. I'm sorry. He got me going everywhere with that one.
Ryan's being
Yeah.
Ryan.
Okay. Well, at least we got that covered now. Yeah.
Moving on.
Domhnall Gleeson will be good in Star Wars, though.
Yeah.
From what they were talking about, he's gonna be one of the. I think the new Empire generals. He's gonna be basically like Moff Tarkin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Grand Moff Tarkin. So I'd be interested to see how that develops because he's like a young guy. He's not like an old
General.
character like Tarkin was, but yeah, it's nice to have someone who's not like powered be kind of like a force for evil too for that.
Yeah.
But that's Star Wars and
Bringing it back.
Yeah, bringing it back.
Sorry.
Okay, so we got through all the X-Men stuff there. I mean, it seems like they've got a good setup. I mean, a lot of young cast, a lot of returning cast that should be good
Yeah.
too.
I'm excited about the cast.
Yeah. You know, I don't know if you guys knew this. Did you know that they were before they were going to do Quicksilver, they were originally going to do Juggernaut?
Really?
Yeah, he was going to have a huge scene.
I'd like to see Juggernaut back and portrayed more like Juggernaut.
Yeah,
Because
not,
when he's not supposed to be a mutant like in The Last Stand where he was a mutant.
yeah. Well, see, that's a hard thing. Is like you try and convey the stuff about gems that give you powers and whatnot. But I
They
mean,
didn't have to do that. They could have just said the helmet gave him powers. It could have been that simple.
yeah. I mean, we're already in comic book world, so I mean that's about as believable as anything else, I guess. But yeah, it's like magical helmet. Yeah, but
I wonder if Halle Berry had some say in that movie. Like, the only way I'm going to do this movie is if you kill off everyone but me.
yeah,
I can be the only survivor. Well, and I guess Wolverine can survive too.
yeah. God forbid, right?
Oh, your hatred for Halle Berry amazes me.
It's gonna be a running theme anytime he's on the show now. I think we'll just talk about how bad Halle Berry is. Right into the show if you have any comments for Ryan, and then we'll address them on air. But yeah, so they were gonna actually have Juggernaut. That was the original casting for that breakout scene that Quicksilver did.
Okay.
Because they were I could be slightly wrong about this. I don't think he crashes through a wall. I think they actually do what they're gonna do in the new Fantastic Four film, where he was gonna drop.
So dumb. Bro.
Exactly. So the concept art that I saw when they right after the film came out, because they were like, oh yeah, we were gonna do it with Juggernaut, was a guy who kind of looks like the young Stryker that we mentioned earlier, but he's got the helmet on, and he literally like drops down shoulder first from an airplane and just barricades through the Pentagon or whatever, where I think it was Magneto was being held, right?
Yeah.
So he just barrels through the whole thing, and apparently it was going to be cool because he goes through like layers and layers and layers of like floors to get down there, but like that Quicksilver scene was just so good.
Yeah.
Like I think that's half the reason why they killed off Quicksilver in the new one. Yeah,
No, they
in
killed
Age
him
of
also
Ultron.
so that Scarlet Witch can bring him back.
You think they're could be?
Because we're gonna see her powers and how crazy they can be to bend the world. And
How
she's gonna
crazy do
bring
you
him
think it's
back.
going to get, though? I mean, are we going to get some, like, really, like, reality-bending stuff for, like, it's...
Definitely, because there's got to be something, because there's no way they should be able to defeat Thanos. There's got to be something that happens. Like, she's going to bend reality and do something.
But that's, like, 3 or 4 Avengers-ish movies down the line, so what does she do in the meantime? Is she just going to be developing
Well, in the
her
meantime,
powers?
like, what I'm thinking is
Like in
they're going to
Civil
build
War.
to
Yeah,
it.
like, what does she do in
Like
Civil War?
in Civil War, they're
Yeah.
going to be trying to train her as an Avenger, but she's going to have that guilt, and she's going to be upset about her brother, and she's going to be that's going to be weighing heavily on her.
Oh, okay,
And
so
at
she
some
broods
point,
in Civil
At
War?
some point, something's going to happen, and she's
like
going to
she
snap,
snaps,
and
yeah.
she's going to go and bring her brother back, and maybe bring some other villains or something back from the past, and just wreak havoc.
I can see
That would be cool, but I'm just wondering how, like, the standard movie audience would accept that sort of thing. That could be really good, though. I would like to see that.
I say fuck it, go with it.
Yeah, I mean, Scarlet Witch is like one of the most powerful beings in all of Marvel.
Yeah. So hopefully they really develop some stronger female characters, because that was literally one thing I was reading before you guys came over, was that they were really disappointed with the way Black Widow's been handled, that she really hasn't been strong enough.
Then they need to go back and watch The Winter Soldier, because
She was great in there. Yeah.
She kicked so much ass.
Yeah.
When I first saw that movie, I told people my only problem with it was there wasn't enough Black Widow.
Yeah, right. No, they did a
Even
good
though
job.
the whole movie was Black Widow.
Yeah, they did a good job with Black Widow. And then there was who was the other one? They just introduced
In
Evangeline Lilly as I don't want to
in
spoil it for our
Ant-Man?
listeners who haven't seen it from Ant-Man, but she becomes someone from the comics, and she's a very strong character, and I hope that she'll be.
wait until Tuesday.
Really?
I'm not telling you.
I didn't know this.
We're-
Now I'm
we're-
excited.
We're waiting to see. It's part of the end teaser stuff. I covered it in our
All right, for
spoilers.
once I don't want to be spoiled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I'm saving it because the 3 of us were all going to go and see it on Tuesday in like the megaplex kind of place. So it's going to be good. Unfortunately, I know way too much now because I've been doing all this research on it. I almost feel like
Well,
I've seen the movie.
You
but
fucked up.
hey, I knew what I was getting myself into.
I did that for the Avengers. I knew everything that was going to happen.
Yeah,
in
I know,
Avengers
right?
Before it came out.
See, I usually do that for every movie.
Sometimes it's painful knowing all the nerdy stuff in advance, you know? Like,
The only thing I'm probably not going to do it for is Star Wars. But did I tell you there is one movie coming out this year that I'm way more excited about than Star Wars? The Green Inferno.
You in the Green Inferno.
the Green...
Green
isn't that
Inferno.
the Eli Roth one?
cannibal
Yeah.
movie? Oh, it's going to be so crazy.
See, no, I'm a little confused on that too. I guess it still kind of covers some of our nerd news and everything.
Horror movies
but
are nerdy.
yeah, exactly. So what's that's the one with like the people in the jungle?
Yeah.
Because
They're like film students and they're doing some kind of save the jungle retreat.
Yeah.
And
then, like,
their plane crashes and they get kidnapped by these cannibals.
it kind of
this
sounds like the
cannibalistic tribe.
pyramid a little bit.
Well,
It's kind of a knockoff of Cannibal Holocaust, which
Yeah.
is like a very
Whoa.
controversial movie.
Yeah,
from
I've never seen
wherever.
that one.
Which was not the only reason it was controversial is because they killed animals in the movie, but the movie
Like
itself
they
wasn't as-
literally killed animals
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, like they butchered a turtle and like gutted him and ate him, and they like shot a monkey, and there's some other things they did. Yeah.
No wonder they do the
Plus
animals
the-
were
But
harmed in
there's
making of
there's
this
a
film.
scene where like they speared the girl from her crotch up to her mouth, and
Yeah.
but I mean, other than that, there wasn't any graphic. There wasn't really anything graphic in that movie.
But,
Like
like,
that
for
one
the-
scene.
for the-
Yeah,
time.
she only
But
got speared in the crotch.
Green Inferno
I mean,
sounds like
come
it's going to
on.
be like the most fucked up cannibal movie you've ever seen, and it just sounds crazy to me. I can't wait to see it. And I was so excited to see it last September, and then they had that
studio dropped
dispute, and they couldn't come to some agreement, and the studio decided not to release it.
Yeah,
And it took them this long to get another studio to pick it up, and I'm just so excited.
like
to
there are
see it.
certain extremes in horror movies that I just like you saying Spirit in the Crotch, like there was some stuff about like the Evil Dead remake that came out. Like I really wanted to see that, but there was a certain
so
point.
good.
Yeah, see that's the thing. I kept hearing good things about it,
was
but
so
then
good.
it was just like, some people I can't remember what they told me, but they were telling me some stuff that was like.
Like when she cut
That
her
was-
arm with the thing.
Yeah, or something like that. Like something with her tongue, I think, was
Yeah,
it?
she split her tongue with
Yeah,
the,
like
with the
that
razor
kind of
knife.
stuff. I was like, I don't know. That,
I
yeah.
haven't seen them.
That's
No,
what I
want
love
to.
about horror movies. Like, I don't like the super, like, scary jump out of your seats, but I just love the excessive, like, brutal gore and death scenes, which is weird, I suppose, to
Yeah.
say that, but it's just awesome to me. I don't know.
As-
And I would never want to do that to anybody in real life, but it's just exciting to see, like, all the crazy things they can do.
Yeah, like I like stuff that can make me go like, ugh, and cringe. But as long as it doesn't veer into that, like that just psychologically scarred me for life watching that. As long as it doesn't veer into that territory, I'm okay.
There's
with
an
it.
extreme to that
That's
I
some things
won't
to
watch,
show you
and I
No,
won't.
please don't. God,
I
no.
refuse to watch any of the Human Centipede movies. That to me is like that
See, like that,
extreme
exactly.
of gore that I just can't watch.
Perfect
like,
example.
like defecating and feces and that is just I can't watch
Ugh.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, Human Centipede 3 coming out this year. Fun
Yeah.
family movie.
Yeah,
500
fun for
person
the
centipede?
whole family.
That's
yeah.
what they said
Good
in the
point,
trailer,
Mike.
too.
Yeah.
I don't
They
know
did
if
say
you-
that in the trailer. That's
At
fun
the
for the
end.
whole family.
Oh,
yeah.
that's a terrible.
But I don't know if you did you see the trailer for it or no?
I don't
I've
want
seen
to
the
see
trailer.
the trailer
They're,
for
they're
it.
like in a prison and literally it's like the whole.
Oh, I
single
did.
Prison in,
Yeah, it's
in
like 500 prisoners.
It's like
yeah.
snaking along
Yeah,
the
I
whole
did.
yard.
I saw some like overhead shot where they did where there's all the people in. Oh, so wrong.
I wouldn't. The first one was fucked up, but then the second one they just tried to do stupid shit for no
Yeah.
reason, and it wouldn't have been so bad if they didn't have the guy like having sex with the centipede and like
What?
beating off into blood and guts and
Oh,
stuff. I'm like, well,
jeez.
this is not necessary in a horror movie.
I don't think it's necessary in any medium, but
Well,
my
yeah.
God, man, that's
Whatever.
rough.
Moving
Okay,
on.
yeah, let's get back on some more wholesome stuff here now. It was kind of cool with back on some more DC stuff. The trailers, as we've talked about already, have been released for Suicide Squad and for Batman vs Superman.
Which are
But
good.
now they're in 4K, so people can really see the clarity of it.
I have not seen the 4K one.
I will show you those after we're done, and they are quite good. I mean, it is spectacular how the detail looks after they're in 4K. I don't understand why, and maybe they have them, but like I never saw them for Marvel movies yet. And I don't know why. Like I would love to see a 4K one of like the Avengers movies, because like just that added level of detail. But we already saw them. So
Those trailers were good, but then there was Deadpool.
Yeah.
well, maybe they'll do.
Okay,
No, they're not going to do a
we'll
4K.
get- we'll get-
I was going to say they're going to do a 4K Deadpool, but they're probably not.
They don't have to. The guy holding the camera phone and watching the trailer was all I needed
Yeah.
to see.
Yeah.
I do want to see a legit full version though, because there were a couple scenes where like it gets blacked out from whoever was
From
holding the
the hand or
camera,
whatever.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
somebody stood up at one point, I think, or something.
Yeah.
or was like trying to intercept him, and he was like, "Oh no, I wasn't really recording." But yeah, so you missed a couple scenes there, which I think is like a fight scene with Ajax, Angel Dust, and Deadpool, where they're all fighting each other. But I think we'll get enough of it in the next couple weeks here. We'll see a
I think
full
they said
trailer.
in 2 weeks the full trailer is going to be out.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ryan Reynolds did
Yeah,
confirm
he
that. So
tweeted it.
yeah, so anyone who's interested, there is going to be a legit trailer coming out pretty soon here. Ryan Reynolds confirmed that. But yeah, as far as Batman, Superman, and the whole DC set goes, we actually covered this in our DC centric one, but DC has been working kind of in secret with everyone from the Superman game that's supposed to be coming out. It's actually Montreal Games now is semi-confirmed for this one, and they released some more info over the course of the week, including more images, and then actually just as of yesterday, one of the producers of the game who's been working on it released this stuff like, oh yeah, and now I'm working on the new Superman game, and no one was supposed to catch on to it, but now apparently it's been confirmed. So we're going to get more details as they come along, but it's all really small tidbits. It's like little Easter eggs that they've been dropping about this game. So right now there is an image of Doomsday, Brainiac, and Superman now. So I'm curious to see what Montreal Games will do with the Superman game. What do you think? Like, if
Like
you
I said
if you
before,
can
I
have
just
the
don't
perfect
see Superman
Yeah.
playing in that type of game, like at the Arkham games. It just doesn't work for me.
It's,
Well-
it's too small. Like they need to make a sandbox of it, just because
yeah.
the like amount that you could just fly around. Like one thing's Batman just grappling from one place to another. That's
Yeah.
cool, but with Superman, it's just you need to make it a much bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, if Superman jumps, like he's already out of Gotham,
Right.
or out of Metropolis.
Because we mentioned this, Brian and I.
Should we just introduce him?
Yeah, we have Brian back on the show.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah. So Brian had to take care of a little something, but he's back just for the wrap up the show with us a little bit here.
I was at a graduation party, so I did miss this part of the show, but I came in kind of late. But hey, you know what though? For a Superman sandbox type world game, personally, I think it would be awesome if it spanned across multiple cities, almost like a GTA, just like a GTA 5 format.
Cool. Okay.
Where if it was like multiple different cities, that would be awesome because he could fly around and save people in different cities. I mean, he has that super hearing. I'm just kind of bringing that up again, all of his stupid gay powers.
Oh, yeah.
But
Does he have a power to be gay? Isn't that
I
a
like
power
the-
that we all technically have? Well, maybe.
Yeah.
But I like the idea that he's going on quests to like save people and things like that. That's very
that would be
Superman-centric.
that would be the key.
And
Yeah.
here's one thing where I hope they do, if they do make this.
Yeah.
Where if like they do make it more of a sandbox. I remember I was reading up like last week. I was just interested in where like all these fictional DC cities are located in the U.S.
Oh yeah.
And I was reading up and like apparently like Metropolis and Gotham are supposedly like right across the bay from each other.
At least they are for the film.
Yeah.
For the film, they are going to be. Yeah. There's like this massive gap of water that's separating.
I read
them.
it
Well, it's kind of how
online,
it
not even
is
just-
in the comic books too. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
like
I don't know if that is in the comics,
like even
but
in the comics, there's like New York, Gotham, and Metropolis are all on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So they're all really near each other, and I know Gotham and Metropolis are like within driving distance.
Okay.
So if they make a game like that, maybe you can go back and forth through.
That would be cool.
Gotham.
Where you-
That's all I would do then is just like jump across the lake.
Maybe.
All day, just jump across the lake.
Yeah.
What I was saying to Brian, which was an idea that could actually work, is that they could kind of depower him. Like there could be a whole thing where like Brainiac makes like a replica of the Red Sun, so he's kind of lost some of his power, and you could have him do some more street level fighting if need be.
I
and
get
then
that,
he could
but then
go
how
back
do you
and
have him get
Superman.
around town? Do you steal cars? Like
No,
in
he
Grand
can.
Theft Auto?
He can still leap tall buildings in a single bound. He's just not flying around the city. You know?
No,
what I mean?
I
It's
think
like that.
I don't like
But I
that.
feel like that'll
Yeah.
be a Batman game.
Batman is not leaping over tall buildings in a single.
Really tall.
Kind of is. He's
Well, I guess.
grapple hooking himself up and then gliding across buildings.
Have you even played Arkham?
Yes, I have. I've gotten to 6%.
I mean,
now.
if they're gonna
Six
go,
I
I know.
So
Well,
you have full knowledge.
It
of
was
the
at
Arkham game.
3%. I know. It was at 3%.
if they're
Now
gonna
it's
go
at
that
6.
line to dumb
you're
down
not
his
as far
powers,
as-
they might as well just have him take the red kryptonite, and then it's just Grand Theft Auto Metropolis.
Red makes him crazy, I think.
Isn't
Exactly,
the
Grand
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what you mean?
Yeah,
Oh,
Grand
okay.
Theft Auto
Oh, that
Metropolis.
he would actually... Oh, okay.
Superman edition.
Oh, my gosh.
that could be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Maybe then.
You could like go into the whorehouse with the intention to rescue him, and then just laser beam him and start, freeze him. Or
There's so many
throw him on the back of your motorcycle. and
Freeze him
drive away.
solid on a stripper pole.
Did any of you guys get the chance to see, keeping with Superman here, the documentary that came out, The Superman Lives?
I downloaded it last night.
Did you watch
and I
it?
haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's so good. Like everything you could possibly think a Tim Burton film starring Superman with Nicolas Cage.
I really want to buy the Blu-ray because it has
I've
like
heard
12
about it.
hours of like extra
I have it on my
documentaries and
computer.
stuff.
Oh yeah, so the Blu-ray, yeah, that would be cool to
It's
see.
like
all the
$30,
extras.
but it might be worth it because there's like a couple hours with Kevin Smith and a couple hours of like other people.
Oh,
like,
Kevin
talking
Smith
about
just
it.
hates John
Yeah.
Peters, and you can just see it in the whole thing.
I just want to watch it so I can like rip on how terrible it was going to be.
I think we need to
I think it would be the best
re-Photoshop that
Superman.
picture of your dad with.
Yeah.
with the Nicolas Cage shoot with the long ears.
We're gonna have to post this on our Twitter
Oh,
account.
I love that.
I photoshopped my dad's head on Superman's body because
Oh,
my dad
jeez.
and I both hate Superman, but I thought it'd be hilarious. And then
It's still got to be
and-
better than Nicolas Cage.
well, but then at our local comic book shop, the
Nicolas
guy
Cage.
who ran the comic book shop put that picture, like it was like wanted.
Yeah, he put
It was like
up
a
in the
wanted
shop.
picture. It was like a wanted picture, and it's like one
If you
of
see
like
this man-
one of his crimes was like that he had a terrible rolled sock in his pants.
That's pretty great. But yeah.
We'll post that on Twitter. I'll get you the picture.
Absolutely.
And we'll post it up on Twitter.
That sounds great. Yeah, but like this movie was basically, for those who don't know, it was in the 90s, right coming off of the Batman films. John Peters was one of the executive producers of those films as well as some of the Superman films. And he was working with as many people as he possibly could to get another Superman film off the ground. So they found their lead actor was Nicolas Cage, who was going to be our Superman, who was just coming off of being like Academy Award winning Nicolas Cage, which for many of us that's really hard to believe.
What did he win an Academy Award for?
It was like one of those like what was that movie that he did with Cher, like Moonlighting or something like that, or maybe it was Raising Arizona or something
It was
like
like
that.
early 90s, though.
Yeah, early 90s when he had just come off of being like an award-winning actor.
He looks so terrible in that
I know,
suit,
exactly.
though, but that movie would have been
The
awesome.
long hair with
me?
the receding hairline.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He looks amazing in that suit.
The suit looks
See
okay.
the chest hair popping out.
Exactly. See, that's the thing. Like, I think Sean mentioned this, was that at some point that movie would have, if it had been made, it would have probably turned into like the Batman and Robin of the Superman franchise.
Which
it would have been that bad.
probably would have then been the best Superman movie
Yeah.
ever made.
No.
Like, sometimes you've got to have
Shut up, Brian,
Zemo.
you can't
There's
talk.
no Batman movie that will ever surpass Batman and Robin.
It's
Oh,
so,
that movie is so horrible.
That's what makes
That's
it
why
great.
it's the best
That's
Batman
why,
movie ever made.
That's why I still say to this day, Batman Forever is the worst Batman film, because Batman and Robin knew it was terrible when it was being made. Like, even Schumacher said to himself, he's like, I just wanted to make this ridiculous comic book world like I saw in the 1960s TV show.
Exactly.
So that went into it. You can't have a movie that has the Bat MasterCard and take it seriously. You know what I mean? Like, who comes up with that? So
You can have a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and take it seriously.
yeah, exactly. Especially like all
Gets
those
in the
puns.
chopper.
Yeah. All right, everyone,
the worst.
chill.
Everybody, what killed the ice? Or what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
So good.
It's time to chill.
It's time to chill. Oh my god, I forgot about
I
that.
love the story, Mr. Freeze, too, with his wife being sick and him
Yeah.
trying to like preserving her body and trying to find the cure and stuff.
Like when I was a kid, that was like so like emotional. Like, oh no, his wife is dying or whatever, and like I believe it. But now when I watch it, I just kind of laugh, and it's so bad because you don't want to laugh, but it's Arnold trying to deliver like a heartbreaking
Yeah.
scene like that.
well, Arnold, yeah, you gotta laugh.
Exactly. Like, I tried to save her. But yeah, so Superman Lives, they had Tim Burton who was going to direct it. There was going to be Nicolas Cage as Superman with like 3 or 4 different costumes for this film. They had like a light up suit because he was going to die because Death of Superman was so popular at that point.
Was it supposed to be Doomsday in the movie?
So, okay, no, it wasn't Doomsday. So, apparently, Brainiac is the bad guy in this. Brainiac comes down, he finds a way, he kills Superman because a million other things happen. At one point, Brainiac goes to the Fortress of Solitude, gets attacked by Superman's guardian polar bears. Yes, I'm not even,
Yes!
I'm not even
Why is
kidding
this
that.
not a movie?
Exactly,
This
that's
is
what
like
I'm saying.
the kind of movie I would make.
Because John Peters was like, he needs to have some sort of protection. Even though he's dead, he needs to have some bodyguards. Let's make polar bears. Do you know what polar bears are? They're the deadliest animals in the winter part of the world,
In
you
the
know?
Arctic.
Yeah, in the Arctic.
F it, Ryan, let's make this movie.
Let's just do it with a handy cam. Just make this thing. So Brainiac gets attacked by polar bears. Apparently has a struggle with them. Finally kills them. Tries to find some stuff that Superman's got hiding in the Fortress of Solitude. At one point, Superman has this robotic buddy from Krypton who came with him as a child, who
Okay.
resurrects him in this like pool of liquid, and he comes back to life, and then he becomes one big suit with him. So that's why, if you've seen any of the trailer for this, he's got this like light bright kind of suit where it's like it's all black, but it like lights up all over like
So awesome.
Oh my god.
like those shoes, man. Like it's ridiculous. So then he comes back to life. Then he's got like a metallic suit as he fights Brainiac at the end. And by the way, Brainiac is a spider. He's a giant spider.
I would almost think Brainiac is the hero of this movie.
Oh my goodness. and
just-
whose idea was
Just because
this?
he kills Superman, right?
This Tim Burton's idea?
Tim Burton.
It's a combination of
Who is Johnny Depp gonna play?
Johnny Depp was not. Well,
It could have been a Tim Burton movie. It didn't have Johnny Depp.
I know. Well, yeah.
Was like Edward Scissorhands gonna make an appearance at some point?
He probably would have been Brainiac. It would have been like an emo Brainiac
Who
too.
was Helena Bonham
He's
Carter
got
gonna
spider-
play?
She wasn't
Spider-
around at that point.
No, that wasn't a thing until like early
was it?
2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Get
Could've
on
sworn
the
that was
times,
all
Lacho.
Fuck you, Ryan.
Well, he's only been in this country since 1998. So.
Oh, okay. Well then, okay. Then you're okay then.
He's not up with
Damn
it yet.
Bulgarian.
But yeah. So yeah, it was gonna. But yeah, like Brainiac was gonna be in it, and Spider Body and everything. But the reason they went Spider was because John Peters, who really is like the Avi Arad of DC's earlier franchises, where he just wanted to make toys out of everything, you know.
Yeah.
So he decided that like spiders, you know, they're the deadliest insects deadliest creatures in the insect kingdom. So he's like,
They're not even insects.
yeah. So basically,
Right?
If you,
I was like, wait.
I know, and that,
Your
again,
logic makes no sense.
Correct.
Yeah, thank you, John Peters. Exactly. So, yeah,
Why do I know that name? I keep thinking of what's
he
that?
did the Batman
What's
films.
that Peters that was in all those porno movies in like the 80s and 90s?
What?
Yeah, I don't know why that came to mind. Never mind, continue.
Well,
He
well,
was
if
in,
you-
in that, wasn't he in the Jackass movie? Like that giant fat lady like jumped on him?
What?
Or wasn't he in like the part of that scene?
What are we talking about now? I don't even know.
You're thinking Preston.
No, but he's like this really skinny dude.
I don't.
I heard
man.
porno, and then we got
No, but
to
it was
Jackass.
Lee Man that the big fat lady jumped on. But this dude was sitting in the background like talking about it.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, what's his
like,
name?
yeah.
We'll look it up after.
Yeah, we'll look it up after
Well,
the podcast
anyways,
is over.
A little bit of backstory on John Peters is that he was apparently Barbra Streisand's hairdresser. They put him as a producer. Yeah, I'm not even kidding.
So Barbra
He-
Streisand musical number in this?
Yeah,
one?
no, thank God, no. But like he got to be in the film industry after that. Like I think she did Prince of Tides with him or something, and then she's like, he would be really good on films.
John
And then-
Waters.
John Waters.
John Waters? Wow, that's
That's what I was thinking of. Sorry.
That's a big jump from.
that's a hell of a jump.
Not sure why I got Peters out of that, but
That was the fact that we dotted or made that connection that way. Just
Anyway, back to John Peters.
yeah. So John Peters was Barbra Streisand's hairdresser apparently, and that's how he got into the business. So all of his ideas are like from way out of left field, and this is just
sounds
one
like
of
my kind of ideas, though. I could get behind him. Sean always tells me I
you
have
were
the
never
worst
making a
ideas,
movie. Although I kind of want to see that movie regardless, just because it sounds so bad.
It just reminds me of Kung Fury.
Yeah, but I don't think they were trying to. I think they were trying to be serious. So that's
I
the
get
problem.
that, yeah, but it would have ended up being like Troll 2 almost, where that guy was trying to make like a serious horror movie, and then it became like the best worst movie
Yeah, I
ever made,
know.
and he was pissed off about it because people laughed at his movie.
I would have loved to have seen that regardless. It would have been really interesting.
I'm just excited for National Treasure 3.
Wait, is that actually being made?
National
Hope so.
Treasure 3.
Oh, well, if it becomes made, we will talk about National Treasure 3 and all of its weird awesomeness.
I'm just gonna say
Whenever we
National
get to
Treasure
it.
1. You could be at like a Christmas family gathering, and you could put that movie on, and nobody will complain.
Yeah, I do like National Treasure 1.
wasn't a
It
bad
was good.
movie. I don't have anything against Nicolas Cage. I thought he played a good Ghost Rider.
That's a different discussion for a
That-
different day.
Yeah, we can cover that one another
Come
time.
back to that.
Yeah. So yeah, like we covered everything. We covered the Horseman. We covered all the DC TV properties. Did you want to go over your thoughts on the Suicide Squad and Batman vs Superman real quick? With your theory that you
It's
read
not
this
my
week?
theory. Don't say it's
no,
mine.
I said that you read. I said
you
that
are
you read.
adopting it as
Okay.
your theory.
All
Why
right.
not? I think it sounds stupid. I sent it to him. as a
Lacho's
joke.
taking the mic here for a second, so we
All
gotta
right,
let
I read
him
on this
speak.
theory online that the Joker in Suicide Squad is gonna be Jason Todd?
Jason Todd,
yeah,
yep.
is actually Jason Todd, and the argument behind this is in one of the stills from the trailer or one of the official picture that was released on Joker's right arm, he has a tattoo and there's like a bird wing or something.
It's wings, yeah.
It's
that's
wings.
that's all the people have seen.
So
Yeah.
they're like, oh my god, it's a bird. It's probably Robin. That means it's Robin. And then, like, the J on his cheek.
Typical
it
internet.
could be Joker, but it could also be like, oh, J for Jason
J for
Todd.
Jason Todd.
And then, like, the skull on his chest is, like showing Batman, like, like, I'm this guy who, like, was, like, reborn into
I
the
know.
Joker and all this
Yeah.
shit. And I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like your theory, Lacho.
It's not my
No,
theory,
it's actually-
the internet's
it's
Do
theory.
you always believe everything you read on the internet?
He does.
No, but in all seriousness, this is actually starting to make rounds. So we'll cover this in a somewhat relevant or serious way here. So here, the rumor, like Lacho said, is that they're saying just to make some dissonance from the previous Joker intonations that they've had, or incarnations for that matter, is that he is a defeated Robin who was killed by the original Joker, because Joker has killed Robin in the past, and it was Jason Todd. Leading to the speculation that if you see like the newspaper clippings about how it's let your family
Yeah.
die, it's stuff like
the
that.
Joker wouldn't know that, but Jason Todd would.
Well, Joker would know that because he made that he killed them, but but there is some credence to
What?
that.
I like this whole theory.
Joker killed Jason Todd, so he knows that he killed one of his
I
family.
thought you were talking about his parents.
Yeah, that's
No.
what I thought too.
That's-
Oh, I thought it meant the Bat family.
No, I thought you were saying that Joker killed his parents. I was confused.
No,
I
no,
think
no,
we
no,
all
no,
had
no, no,
we
no.
all had that confused
Yeah.
look, and probably
Fair
even
enough.
the listeners probably
Fair
had
enough.
a confused look on their face
That
as
is
well.
fair enough. I was rambling, trying to remember all the details. This is true. But yeah, so
Oh yeah, that newspaper clipping. You let your family die.
yeah, so what is the family? Is it the Bat family? Because he doesn't have anyone around him other than Alfred at this point now. So I mean, they're saying that Nightwing could exist over in Blood.
Oh, doesn't he still have Morgan Freeman?
Morgan Freeman?
The guy that makes all his
Lucius
gadgets?
You mean Lucius Fox, right?
Whatever his name is in the movies.
Yeah,
That's
Lucius
Lawrence
Fox.
Fishburne though is playing him.
What? No, he's get out of here. No,
No, Lawrence Fishburne
He's
is the
Perry-
editor.
he's Perry White.
He's Perry White. Okay.
Let's try and keep this relatively factual here.
Can we give Bill Cosby a part?
Oh, no,
Was it too soon for that joke, Ryan?
Very, very too soon. Yeah.
He could make a good Batman villain. Like a good Riddler, even.
I'm like, great.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, he could be.
He'd be awesome as the Riddler. You wouldn't know what the fuck he was saying.
Pudding pop, Batman. Solve this pudding pop.
oh man.
Bill
just-
Cosby
oh
as
my
the Riddler
God.
has my vote.
You'll find the answer you're looking for at the bottom of this pudding pop.
Oh my
That's so
god.
bad.
Oh, and we have veered so far off track.
Roofie
right, let's-
the
Yeah, I mean,
pudding
he
pop.
could drug and kidnap like Batman's love interest or whatever.
Oh, man.
Yes.
And that would fit into his real life.
Oh, jeez.
Perfect.
We got on the weirdest topics.
I don't know how I'm not in
sometimes.
movies. And
Uh,
resurrect
I
Bill
think we
Cosby's
found
career.
out
I mean, it worked for Robert Downey Jr. giving him the Iron Man role. Right?
oh, yeah.
Maybe we could get the public behind Bill Cosby again.
Oh man, but yeah. So the theory is that someone from his family is dead. So I guess there's a possibility that Robin could have not actually died. What were we gonna say, Lacha?
Bringing on this, that
Yeah.
reminds me. I read somewhere online where like that. Okay, so Bruce Wayne was trying to get away from like he's put Batman on the back burners, and he's trying to like have
Yeah, like
a
he's
family.
moved on.
Yeah, he's moved on, so he's trying to have this family and like this close knit group of people. Maybe not the Bat family, but just like
like an actual family. Yeah.
like an actual family, or just family friends. They were in that Wayne Tower that got destroyed in Metropolis.
Okay.
Apparently, like everybody that he like loved or whatever was in that tower.
That's what I told you before
Yeah.
over the internet. Yeah, that was my theory that I gave you.
And you still believe
No,
everything
yeah,
you
what's
read
your
on the
Yeah,
internet?
yeah.
Wait, which
It
one
came
of these
from
movies
Ryan
is
and-
coming out first?
Wait, Batman and Superman.
Superman.
Yeah, and Brian and I are
It's-
going to get to go and see it a week before everyone.
And we're going to
else.
keep rubbing that in everybody's
Yeah.
faces. Because we got advanced screening
That's so
tickets. Don't you
awesome.
remember?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I told
Because
you
they
about
went to
that.
that IMAX thing or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
preview and everything.
Fuck, you told me about that.
I wasn't
Yeah.
going to drive like 3 hours to go to it.
Yeah.
It wasn't 3 hours. It was an hour and a
Yeah,
half.
it was.
From someone who hates Superman is excited to go see it a week early.
But I love Batman. Go figure.
That's enough, right?
But
Yeah.
I like the whole theory about the Fallen Robin, but there was never in the new series of Bat films. There hasn't been any talk of a Robin.
And that's Warner Brothers and DC's, thought process on
No,
it
they're-
because they don't want to make sense.
they're just
No,
going to
it's-
assume that all the fans know who Jason Todd is. Like,
Yeah, there's
Yes.
there's not going to be that, and that's what I said. Okay, so like my rundown.
At least they're
Go
not.
ahead.
Or I'm hoping they don't do the thing where at the end of Dark Knight Rises, where it's like, oh, why don't you use your real name, Robin? Oh, that was so
No.
fucking pissed.
No.
So dumb.
Yeah. So here's my little rundown that I sent to Lacho. So here's my thoughts on it. First of all, we're gonna start with like the government and Lex being focused on Superman after the events of Man of Steel. Then Superman gets called into court to tell him who Superman really is, what he stands for. He'll become like a soldier to the government essentially because now he's guilted into like, oh, you caused all this destruction and everything. We're gonna have obviously the kryptonite's going to be shown. I think it'll probably be like laced with Batman's armor or something like that, so that he has some sort of
that
an
big
advantage.
mechanical armor they show him in when his eyes light up.
Actually, they're saying that's a defensive thing. He's at his last bit fighting Superman
think
or
that's
whatever.
a bit the end.
Like he's going to be so weakened that he has to throw
Are they
that
gonna
on.
Are they gonna play off that like from the last Dark Knight where he was like all burnt up?
Yeah, like
pretty
he's
much?
going to have he's going to actually experience
Like the Dark
broken
Knight
bones
Rises
and things
or-
like that. You know what I mean?
Wait, from the
No, kind of like the
Nolan
comic
movie,
books.
or-
No, and in Dark Knight Rises when he was
I
like,
don't remember which Dark Knight.
well,
was the
he's
last
probably
Dark
not
Knight.
going to have a broken back that he heals himself magically by like pulling on a
Well, because
rope.
Bane breaks his
but-
back in the comics,
yeah.
No,
right? Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna play out that. I think they're going more of a Dark Knight Rises, the comic book / comic.
No,
movie.
The Dark Knight Returns.
The
you mean.
Return. Sorry, not Rises.
Oh, The Dark Knight Returns?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's going to kind of play towards that a little bit more.
that's the inspiration, if
Yeah.
anything. But I don't know if it's going to, there's not going to be a kryptonite arrow. Or
loosely based around
loosely
it.
based, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, like what I was saying though is I think that Batman is going to have kind of like a wife or possibly a kid too. They're going to be up in that tower that Zod and Superman were fighting in Man of Steel. That's why we see him run to it, and that's why he has this bitter grudge against him. Eventually they're going to find out that they, work together or whatever. But the confusing scene that I was talking about with Brian was that there was Brian's giving me the weirdest looking face right now. But like that there's that whole desert scene where they're fighting them in the desert.
Yeah.
Like it kind of looks like Batman breaks that guy's neck or whatever.
Maybe he did the whole like Goku thing and it's like, oh, I'll fight you, but we gotta go all these millions of miles away from civilization.
Yeah, and I think they're going to make a conscious effort on that because they want to avoid all the events of Man of Steel in a sense. So there's going to be a fight on an island that's away from the city just to avoid that sort of backlash. They're going to have the fight out in the desert, but I think the desert fight is going to be because Lex is going to create a Superman army that Superman isn't going to actually know about, but they're going to be branded, like they're going to be told that, oh, you guys are like taking out orders that Superman's giving you, but Lex is going to be giving them on Superman's fake behalf.
Right.
So he's going to tell them to like take action in the desert and, basically fight our wars for us, have an Iraq kind of battle. And then by the time that Superman and Batman have concluded their fight, they realize that they have to work together. They take on this issue that's going on in the desert. And then by the time they come back to America, they're going to find out. And this is me trying to spoil it early ahead of time. I guarantee you, and you heard it here first, most likely, that Zod is going to be resurrected, and he is going to be Bizarro Superman.
Okay, that might be first.
I guarantee you. That is what's going to happen.
I haven't heard that theory. I mean, from you, but I haven't heard that theory outside of this room.
Yeah. So that I really think because they unzip him, like why else would you show Zod for any reason? Like, and he's got the pale skin already because he's been dead. But like just the fact that like what would his purpose be? Like why would you show him in general? Like yeah,
that makes that I
Maybe.
see how that would.
I
make
think he'll be
sense.
resurrected. Like
or maybe it's just Luthor trying to research their powers or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe
Or
he's
he
trying to
becomes
take
Bizarro.
he's trying to take something from him and put it into someone else or into himself or something.
Yeah. I mean, the only other theory is that maybe like they strip off Zod's armor and that becomes like the power suit for Lex. But I don't really want to see Lex fighting yet.
I don't want to see him.
I would rather see another version of Zod, and I think that's a grounded way to do Bizarro because it's not like Bizarro has a Bizarro world
to do a
and
villain
everything.
in Superman. Every Superman
What do you
villain,
mean?
every
This is a new
Superman
one.
villain has been the Zod or Lex Luthor. Has there ever been a different villain in any of the Superman?
There was
movies?
that solar version one from 4, like the one that had Luthor's voice, but it wasn't.
Yeah, but it didn't.
But it was still Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah,
see.
basically.
I want to see Darkseid. I want to see Mattel. I want to see Doomsday.
No, I
want to see
agree.
a villain.
I agree. The other backup theories that they had is that like Zod could be like resurrected, but he mutates, and that's how he becomes Doomsday, which that could be a thing too, because he would have Kryptonian like powers and everything still, but he would just be like a mutant version of what he was. So I mean, that could be too. I just like the idea that could be.
I'm cool with the Bizarro.
How else could
the
you do
Bizarro
Bizarro?
thing would be cool. but
Bizarro
yeah.
would be awesome. Like
Wasn't
how
he-
else could you do
Isn't
Bizarro?
he just Superman from like one of the different dimensions or whatever? Like
What?
Bizarro?
Well, yeah, no, that's Mr. Mixelplick or whatever. But like,
No, he's that like little tiny.
yeah,
elf
but
guy.
he's from another dimension, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
that's
isn't-
no, he has like his own Bizarro world that's like in another galaxy. That's like the exact opposite of everything that's
Yeah.
our galaxy and our world. So yeah,
Which
it might as
obviously
well be the
couldn't do
same.
in a movie unless you're
Yeah,
making it really cartoony-ish.
Yeah, that would be about as cartoony as you could possibly get, like a whole backwards world. But yeah, the reason that I believe that it's going to be Bizarro kind of Superman is that for anyone who hasn't really dissected the trailer yet, you see that scene where Batman is about to grapple away from that building. And when you see him grapple away, if you analyze the shot, just a second before that, where the lasers are coming out of Superman's eyes to hit Batman on the building, it's actually two different sets of laser shots, two different sets of heat vision. And if you look at the way Zod uses heat vision in Man of Steel, it was more chaotic, it was bigger, it was just more explosive than Superman's, which was more like focused and I guess skinny, if you will. So it matches that kind of blast that was about to hit Batman, and that would make more sense that whoever the villain is, they're trying to hit Batman with that sort of heat vision.
It could also be, and this is just me
because
speculating.
Doomsday doesn't have heat vision.
This is just me speculating. It could also be that Zod hasn't exactly controlled those powers for his eye lasers.
Well, yeah, no, that was discussed in Man of Steel. The reason his was he had the crazy heat vision he did was because Superman had been on Earth for so long, like he learned how to control his powers. Yeah. So when he finally takes off he peels off that like Kryptonian armor, that helmet that he has, he's reacting weird and he's disoriented and he's just shooting lasers, kind of like Cyclops from the X-Men when he takes off his visor. So it's very unfocused and chaotic with his blast. So the fact that that blast is so big and massive compared to Superman's leads me to believe that that's got to be some version of Zod or Zod's power. Yeah. So I think we have a bizarro Superman who is actually Zod resurrected. And that's my thinking on it.
I'm alright with that.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on Batman, Superman, or Suicide Squad? Theories and stuff like that? How did you guys think about like how Harley was portrayed?
I don't know about everybody else. Okay, for Suicide Squad, I think Harley's gonna steal the show.
Yeah,
the thing is that though they haven't I mean, you can only tell so much from a trailer. I want to see how her actual whole performance is before I make an actual assumption.
Yeah,
that's just me.
Even from the trailer, I'm sold.
Yeah,
same.
I mean, I'm sold as she's the Harley Quinn, but I just want to see how the rest, because those could be her best parts, and she might suck for the rest. I'm just saying.
It's a fair assessment, but she's too good of an actress.
Minions looked funny, but from what I was told is that all the funny parts were from the commercials. Yeah. There was nothing else funny about that movie.
That's fucking Minions.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
It's kind of a 9-day difference, but I see your point.
I'm using the whole trailer to movie aspect.
Yeah.
For Margot Robbie's track record, I think that she's gonna steal the show.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Now, the Joker. What are your guys' thoughts?
Love this Joker. I think it will be the best Joker. I want to hear.
I'm totally on board with
it. Get out of your house.
It's my house.
Get out of your own house. You suck.
No, I love differing opinions. So, like, what are your guys' like our naysayers? What's the thoughts on?
I guess I'll go first.
Yeah.
I like the Joker. I like the way he laughed in the beginning.
Oh, man.
Reminded me very of that Jack Nicholson-ish, but it wasn't so... Because my problem with the Jack Nicholson, and don't get me wrong, I love the Jack Nicholson Joker, but I think that the problem with the Jack Nicholson Joker is that it's too cartoony and too goofy, and it's not the psychotic kind of killer that he really is. But I don't like the Heath Ledger version where he's just that dark, sadistic monster. And it's like, I want in more even balance. This is the Joker I know and love from the comic books.
Okay.
This is going to be the Joker I know and love from the comic books. He might not look with all his tattoos and stuff. Well, we've never really seen Joker. Well, yeah, we have.
Cool.
True.
I think the tattoos are cool. I'm just saying Joker doesn't have the tattoos in the comic books. But I think his personality...
Not all of those, but he has like a big dragon tattoo in some of the comics.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying all the different tattoos that he has, like, I don't know. But I think it's going to hit very well on what the Joker is and try to stay as true to the comics as humanly possible.
Okay, and then Lacho, your thoughts?
All right. Jared Leto is a solid actor. I like almost everything he's been in. I have no problem from the little split seconds that we've seen from the laugh or the acting or the voice. All that seems solid. What I have a problem with is the fucking tattoos. Like, it makes him seem like a 14-year-old, like an edgy 14-year-old. Like, look, Mom,
every 14-year-old you see has tattoos.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Tattoos are a big growing thing.
Just the
younger
the
it seems.
The damage on his forehead.
What you have to remember, though, is that when they did the comic books, that originally, the original Joker, I mean, tattoos weren't a big thing in the 60s for everyday normal people.
I guess that makes sense, and I guess like people can have the argument where, like, the Joker is, like, following, I don't know, like, mainstream, not media, but, like,
mainstream
They're
culture.
yeah, the
they're
culture,
modernizing his
Yeah.
appearance.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, and I'm okay with that.
I'm all for it.
So yeah,
Ryan Gothier,
Yeah.
go ahead. Your thoughts on Joker?
I already said I'm all for it. I'm in the same boat as
Yeah,
Ryan. I
okay.
think he's going to be great.
But yeah, like,
okay, so my resistance to this Joker is very minimal because he sold me on what I've seen in the trailer. Because I was very skeptical. Like, I was that 50-50 on the fence kind of type. What I think was nice is I saw this image that someone did earlier this week, which was they showed all the Jokers and they were trying to categorize how different they were. Yeah, exactly. And one was the original one, Cesar Romero being the clown.
Joker.
Yeah, yeah, the mustache Joker. And then how the one from '89 by Jack Nicholson was the gangster. We had the anarchist in Heath Ledger, and then Jared Leto being the psychopath. So I always really loved how they differentiate each of these Jokers because there's so many variations of him even in the comic books. Like, you know, even if you watch like the Death in the Family, like he sewed his face back onto himself.
But you know what?
Like, that's how ridiculous he can be.
That's the new 52 Joker, though. I mean, before that, the Joker has pretty much remained consistent. Don't sigh at me.
No,
You know what I want to see?
He's making a good point.
He's had a very solid appearance
I agree with that.
from beginning until at least the new 52.
yeah.
I mean, to say his appearance really hasn't changed over the years in the comic books.
Right.
I'm just overall saying, but in the movies he's had so many different iterations of him. But I'm really hoping that this character is going to bring some balance to what the holds more true to the comic books.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you, I don't know, we can get on that soapbox another. I'll get on that soapbox another
For
day.
the most part,
We
like,
know it's coming, man.
I don't mind it. Like, I'm all cool for them doing like a new iteration.
Yeah.
But the thing is, thinking about like a Suicide Squad movie,
Right.
For the Suicide Squad like plotline,
Yeah.
the Joker's not really one of the main characters for it. He's more like on the back burners.
He's the enemy that they're tracking down. They're trying to bring Joker down. That's the focus of Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Because Amanda Waller recruits him because Joker's such a freaking lunatic, such a psychopath.
See, I remember
that they're
watching
trying to bring him
the
down.
movie.
Oh yeah, it's not
animated
Assault on
movie.
Arkham. Yeah. Well, was he the main guy in that one that they were trying to bring down? I'm trying to remember. Sean knew that movie backwards and forwards.
I'm way behind on those
Yeah.
animated
See,
films.
that's. Alright, I don't know if they were trying to bring the Joker down.
But
Oh,
yeah.
what's funny is that Joker was in Suicide Squad at one point.
Oh, in the comics?
Yeah, in the
Okay.
comic books, yeah.
I can kind of.
He
believe
might
it.
At
end up,
one
He
point.
might end up like joining them at the end of the film or
Yeah,
something.
you never know.
He
Well,
probably not. Harley Quinn's gonna probably break off and join them because Batman's in the Suicide Squad movie, so we'll see how that's all gonna play out. Because like,
We don't know, but
no, we do know.
I mean, I don't know how much he's going to be in it.
Oh, how much he's gonna be in it? It'll probably be more of a
More than
a shorter,
cameo,
short.
but-
No, it'll be a little more than a. I think it's almost gonna be kind of like how the Wonder Woman's gonna be in the new Batman Superman movie.
Yeah.
She's not the main role, but she's still making a brief appearance for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen between Joker and Batman, and Batman and the Suicide Squad. There's going to be some brief instances, but I don't think he's going to be a front runner because they have everybody else.
Yeah. So, like, the theory, based on the trailers and everything and some stuff that I saw from behind the scenes, what I'm able to deduce from all this, and it could turn out to be wrong, but first we're going to actually start off with Joker with his teeth and everything like that, and they're going to be knocked out at some point during the film. Then we're going to fast forward ahead where he meets up with Harley in the insane asylum, I think in Arkham or whatever she is. He actually is working with her. She is on that table in the trailers, and he's actually at the very end when he's laughing. It's like, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you really, really bad. He's actually shocking her,
Yeah.
and that's how she becomes crazy.
Yeah.
And that really sold me because I thought he was gonna just do it to someone like Batman or someone that he genuinely hates.
Yeah.
But if he's using that electroshock therapy, as it were, to basically create the Harley that we know, that would make total sense because in that trailer we see that she has a relationship with Rick Flag beforehand, like when she's still Harleen, and then she's gonna become twisted, she's gonna follow the Joker, and she's gonna probably have this like torn feelings where she's gonna be like, I love Mr. J, but then there's this part of my past that I can't escape or whatever, while still being on the team. And at some point Batman's gonna hop in there while they're trying to take down the Joker, and I'm sure he's gonna have his way with Joker in his own way too.
That just sounded dirty.
I'm so much more into the Suicide Squad
You would
movie than into Batman vs Superman.
Batman's totally gonna have his way with
I think
Joker.
I didn't
Suicide
say he
Squad.
was like gonna cornhole the guy. I mean, come on. But you know, I think we
Let's
covered.
turn everything into a gay porn earlier.
We
Someone had to say it.
Yeah. So I think we did cover quite a bit this week. And for myself, for Brian, Ryan, and Macho Lacho.
Fucking do it.
Dolly Lacho.
The Dolly Lacho.
Lacho.
I know, I just came up with that today.
It's the worst.
Please go on our Twitter. Email us at the show, nerdragepod@gmail.com. Tell us what you think. Should it be Macho Lacho? Should it be Dolly Lacho? What do you think about the show? Hit us up, and you guys all have a great weekend.